Welcome to Canadian Creatives, a now digital network series that showcases Canadian designers and thinkers. Our guests share their creative processes, innovative projects, and unique experiences. Here you'll find motivation and inspiration for your creative journey. We'll highlight the diverse careers, collaborations, and communities out there for creatives like you. Now, recording from the heart of Toronto and hosted by creative director Daniel Francavilla, this is Canadian Creatives.
Our next guest went from photography school to becoming an independent artist and aspiring product designer. Keeping her work fresh and fun, she explains why she doesn't limit herself to one medium or style. From concepts to projects, we talk about her adventures in creativity, how they have led her to new opportunities, and how she creates her own opportunities and takes on new challenges almost every day. From product street art to breakfast cereal to pop tab curtains to Lego nails, she is full of unexpected ideas. Introducing our next Canadian creative, Dorota Pankowska.
Well, I went to Humber College for photography. It was fun, but I'm not pursuing photography anymore. I'm pursuing more like creative projects right now. I've always kind of liked it, but I never really thought my parents would let me go, because every time I bring it up, they say, no, there's no money in that, don't do it. And then by the time it was my time to decide where to go for college, I decided that it's my future, I can do what I want. So I was like, I've always wanted to do photography, I'll go for it, and I did it. I paid for it myself, so it was my thing. I got to pick whatever I wanted, and I just really enjoyed doing it, but I didn't really think of it as, I didn't think of it in terms as a career. I didn't think, how am I going to make money off of it? I just thought of it as, I love it, I want to do it, I'm going to try to figure out the money thing after, which was not really a smart way to get into it, but it's kind of how I went about it at first. I've always kind of been a craftsy person, my whole life. I would always doodle things in my notebook. I always thought of creative ways to have fun outside, invent new games, or just do things in a fun way that's different from the norm. So I've always kind of been a person who strives to think a little differently. I just never really applied that to things that could actually lead me somewhere in the future. I always thought that was just something to do for fun. And I mean, I still think it's something to do for fun, but these past few years I've realized that I can connect those skills to new things and new ways to improve. And after high school I actually had a year off, so I had a lot of time to myself all of a sudden. And when you have more time to yourself, you kind of figure out what you want to do with your time that you would enjoy personally. And I still really liked creative things and creative projects. So I decided that I want to start an art blog to kind of motivate me to do creative things, so that I have a reason to keep making things and keep posting them. So I started off with small things, even just creative writing, little sketches, and then every time those little ideas would somehow lead me to bigger and bigger ideas. So that's how kind of my bigger projects started coming about. They all kind of started branching out from smaller ideas. So sometimes when you have an idea, you can change that idea and actually make it come to life in different ways. Even with a visual, you can create it in a photograph, you can create it in a sketch, you can create it in a painting, you can create it in a collage. There's different ways to kind of express an idea, which is kind of why I hate limiting myself to a certain style, because it's there's so many things you can use to express an idea, there's so many ways you can do it. The possibilities are endless. You can invent new ways of expressing ideas. And I think that's the most fun for me, finding new ways to do things, solving problems, and seeing an amazing end result. The most popular projects that I have, well, the one that actually just went viral on the internet is a street art series I made where I decided to plaster stencils of logos all around my city, but I made the logos out of their actual, the main product that the company represents. So for example, I made the Cheese Whiz logo out of actual Cheese Whiz. And I did this with 11 logos, and it was just so fun to actually do it, and all the excitement of going out at night and trying not to get caught, and seeing these logos change over time after the weeks after the project. It's just really fun to me. It's amusing to me, and the recognition and stuff is just a bonus that comes with doing fun things that you like. It's been featured on a lot of websites like Design Taxi, Laughing Squid, Co-Design, Paste magazine, and there's quite a bit. My first tip would be to show your work on the internet, especially the internet. I mean, other places too, but the internet is a huge networking tool, and it connects you with so many people in the world. So I would recommend just showing your work somewhere online. Like, don't be afraid of any negative feedback. Don't be afraid of like negative things people could think about your work. Like, some people will like it, some people might not like it. That's kind of besides the point, because the positives always outweigh the negatives when it comes to showing your work online. For networking, especially in person, just be yourself and remember that the people you're trying to network with are like just human beings like you. So try to connect with them on like a human level. Just talk about like fun things, just talk about creative things. Don't kind of see them as like some weird like business person who's really important and intimidating, because that's not really gonna get you far. And like, if you were that person, you wouldn't really want someone to kind of see you that way either. You'd want someone who's just like fun in themselves and just having fun conversations with you. So that's so far working for me with like networking. I just kind of see people as people, and you just have fun connecting with them. And the same goes with email, because like when you email someone, just show your personality a little bit, and that usually kind of shines through to people. For me, when it comes to like networking, like I often have people come to me. Like, I don't try to push people and try to be like, hey, look at me, hey, pay attention to me. Like, I'm not really like that. I kind of just do my own thing, and then people kind of see who I am through my projects. And then I have all these people who come to me and they're like, oh, I like your work, like, would you be interested in maybe like working with me sometime? So I think that's like the funnest part. The funnest part is having people come to you, because then you already know that they like your stuff and they like you as a person and they want to stay connected with you. I personally keep striving for like new and unique ideas constantly, and the internet is kind of a tool for me to actually see what's already been done out there. So oftentimes I'll have an idea where I'll Google it and it's already been done, or it's been done in a very similar way. And sometimes that's a little disheartening, because you're just like, ooh, I really want to do this, but like I'm clearly not the first one to do it, so there's no point. But that can lead you to kind of push harder and try to like think even beyond those ideas and try to get even more original ideas, because there's so many ideas out there. You have to push yourself more nowadays. I'm probably doing between like 10 and 20 projects right now. They're all different projects. Some of them are like websites. Some of them are like making things. Some of them are street art series. They're all just like weird and unique projects that are kind of done in creative ways that I think not a lot of people have done before. So that's what I like. So you can find my website, which is DorotaPankowska.com, or my blog, which is DoryTheGiant.com. And then I also have like, you know, basics like Twitter and Facebook.
Thanks for joining us on Canadian Creatives. For the show notes, links mentioned, and more episodes, be sure to visit CanadianCreatives.ca. Follow @NowCreates and @NowDigitalNet on Twitter for updates. Canadian Creatives is a Now Digital Network series presented by Now Creative Group. For design, digital, marketing, and media services, visit NowCreativeGroup.com.